Hi everyone! Welcome back to Practical Pam. Has everyone downloaded your handout so you can follow along with me today? Remember, the link should be below in the description. Print out your handout and grab a pencil so we can get started. If you're new to the Best Brains YouTube channel, welcome! We're adding new videos every week, so remember to click the subscribe button to be notified of our latest videos. Today we're going to talk about home economics. What is home economics anyway? Home economics refers to the management of running a household. It might seem at first that there isn't much to running a home, and it's hard to think of home economics as real work. Isn't work something you do outside your house? Well, yes and no. While many of us do work outside of our houses, the time it takes to maintain a home can sometimes feel like another job in itself. We're going to go over some different parts of home maintenance and explain why chores are so important. First, let's look at cooking and food. We've covered some cooking before in a previous episode, so let's talk about cooking and how it relates to home economics. A family's food budget is probably one of their most expensive aspects of the family's entire budget, so monitoring how much is spent on food is very important. It's estimated that a family of 4 wastes about $1,500 per year on groceries that they don't end up eating. That's a lot of money and a lot of food. Good home economics in relation to food means being proactive when it comes to buying groceries for your family. First, you want to make sure that every place where you store food is clean and accessible. If you throw a bag of potatoes in a cabinet you never check, you're going to end up with a science project after a couple of weeks. Make sure when you're storing food to use a tactic called FIFO, which means first in, first out. If you have 2 or more of a certain item, like yogurt, make sure that the yogurt you bought first is the yogurt that is positioned first in the fridge to be eaten. That way, it's much less likely that your yogurt is going to get shoved to the back of the fridge and spoil before you get a chance to eat it. Some families like to set a weekly limit on their grocery spending. That way, they won't be tempted to overspend on discounted items. It's also helpful to plan out what meals you're going to make on what days, and only buy the ingredients required. Making a meal plan also saves time at the store, since you know exactly what you need to buy and how much, rather than wasting time browsing. It's not only money, but time you spend cooking for the household. Think about how long it takes to cook a pot of rice, or scramble eggs, or roast a chicken. How long does it take to make a sandwich? Now multiply that times 2 or 3, or 5. The more people there are in a household, the more time it takes to cook for them. Many people use meal prepping as a way to cut down the time spent in the kitchen. Meal prepping is making many food items at once and portioning them out into meals to be eaten over the next several days. It can be good economics to meal plan, since you can make different items at the same time, which normally you would be making separately, which saves you time. Additionally, some people would rather dedicate a large portion of one day to cooking, as opposed to taking time out of each day, especially if it's also a day that you have to work or go to school. Meal prepping can also help your budgetary needs, since your meals are already made and there's less temptation to spend extra money for pre-made foods from a restaurant. So, let's think about how the home economics of food affects your daily life. In your household, who does the cooking? How many hours a week do they spend making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and for how many people? Are they also the ones who do the shopping? Now think about that time added onto how many hours a week they might go to work, go to school, commute, or perform other tasks. Does it seem like a lot? Maybe we can help them out. Let's think of some ways. How much of your own cooking do you do yourself? Can you help your family meal prep to save time? Can you practice good FIFO in your home to make sure you're keeping the kitchen and pantry organized? Even spending 1 hour of your day per week on these tasks is an hour you're giving back to the person in your household who normally performs them. Now, let's talk about another time-consuming task, laundry. Like cooking, laundry is an essential task. We have to eat, and we have to wear clean clothes. Who does the laundry in your house? Is it the same person who does the cooking? Do you have a washer and dryer at your house, or do you go to the laundromat? Or do you do your laundry by hand? Washers and dryers have been around since the end of the 18th century, but modern washers and dryers that we think of today weren't invented until the late 1930s, and even then, they were very expensive. People who lived in cities would have to take their clothes to and from the laundromat, a business that provides many washers and dryers that can be used for a small fee. Some people still do this. Washing clothes has always been a hard task. Clothing is heavy, and it's incredibly heavy when wet. To get an item of clothing clean, it needs to be agitated with soapy water, then rinsed and wrung out, and then hung up to dry, usually in direct sunlight. Can you imagine doing a whole load of your laundry by hand? Luckily, washers and dryers today are much more affordable than they used to be, saving time and lots of hard work. When it's time to do laundry, first you put your dirty clothes in the washer. Vertical load washers have an agitator in the center like a freestanding column. This spins during the wash cycle, so the clothes rub up against each other to get clean. This is also why laundry soap is designed not to form bubbles, just like dishwasher detergent. Can you imagine how many bubbles an agitator could make? It would be a big mess. That's why you should only use dishwasher detergent in a dishwasher and laundry detergent in a washing machine, never any other type of soap. After a certain amount of time, the soapy water drains out of the washer and clean water is pumped back in. This rinses all the detergent off the clothes. Remember, soaps and detergents are chemically designed to attract dirt and grease. So if you have residual soap or detergent on surfaces or in your clothes, they get dirty even faster. Because washing machines require a lot of water to work, there are special hoses called hookups that are built into houses and apartment buildings so that the washing machine can be attached. Many of the most modern washing machines are designed to use as little water as possible. That's good for the environment. After the clothes are rinsed, the washing machine spins them around very fast to get as much water out as possible. This is called centrifugal force. That is the force that spinning exerts on what is being spun. When something is spun, it wants to be forced away from the center of the spin. So when you spin clothes in a washing machine, the water is forced out and away from the clothes. Washing machines can't dry a load of laundry completely, so now we move it into the dryer. The dryer has a drum inside like a washing machine does, but this one cycles heated air around the clothes. The thicker the items are, the hotter you should set your dryer. The hot air combined with the spinning motion evaporates the rest of the water in the clothes. This process also generates a lot of lint. Lint forms when fibers of a fabric are brushed off in an article of clothing. When clothes are wet, lint clings to them, but as they dry, the lint floats away. Dryers have something called a lint trap to catch all this fluffy dust. You should always clean your lint trap before starting laundry. When lint gets too hot, it can catch on fire, which can create huge problems. Best to take a second to clean the trap. After your laundry is cleaned and dry, it needs to be folded or hung up. Folding and hanging laundry not only keeps your clothes looking nice and wrinkle-free, but they take up less space in your house and are easier to store. Also, much like a well-organized kitchen or pantry, a well-organized closet makes finding the clothes you want to wear faster and easier. We just spent all this time doing laundry. I don't want to waste another 5 minutes looking for my lucky socks. So, what can we do to save us time when doing laundry? Well, first we want to make sure that all dirty laundry is kept in the same place. That way we're not running around the house gathering it all up. Next, we want to make sure our load sizes aren't too big. If clothes don't have enough space in the washer or dryer, they're not going to get as clean as they should be, and they're not getting dry in the first cycle. Having to do the same load twice just to avoid doing 2 loads isn't an effective use of time. Also, we want to use good time management when doing our laundry. Learn how long your washer and dryer takes and set yourself an alarm. And make sure when you have multiple loads that you're cycling through them, one after another. Lastly, let's talk about cleaning. Cleaning is an essential part of keeping up a home. Human beings are messy. There's no change in that. Just existing in a space, we generate dust. Add on to that creating dirty dishes, dropping food on the floor, flecking toothpaste around the bathroom, creating waste, additional messes created by pets, the mess created by our arts and crafts, and so on. Our homes can get very, very messy. Cleaning can add many hours to our busy schedules. The good news is that cleaning is the easiest place where we can save time by acting mindfully. Most messes have some element of water to them. Whether it's food on dishes, toothpaste on the bathroom mirror, or drips on the kitchen floor, these messes are easiest to wipe away when they're fresh because they still have water in them. Once the water dries up, it takes much more effort to clean these things away. So in a productive household, we clean as we go. Dishes get rinsed after they're used and ideally cleaned the same day. Drips and dropped items on the floor get wiped and picked up after the spill happens. Toothpaste and stray hair in the bathroom are wiped up as soon as they appear. We may not even notice the time it takes to do these small tasks, but we will definitely feel the time it takes to go around the whole house and clean up after our old messes. Some maintenance cleaning is unavoidable. Nobody wants to dust and vacuum every day, but we should set aside a little time to do that each week or twice a month. The same goes for cleaning toilets, bathtubs, sinks and showers, doorknobs, ceiling fans, carpets and floors, shelves and knickknacks, tables and surfaces, and outdoor furniture. The key here is keeping a routine and doing it frequently. Remember, the longer we let a mess sit, the harder it is to clean and the more effort it takes. Knowing that a task is hard makes us not want to do it, let's be honest, which means we might put it off even more. Cleaning is not fun, but it's necessary. And the fact is, if we don't do our part, it's up to someone else in the household to do it for us. Each member of a home can take responsibility over themselves and help one another to maintain a clean, safe, comfortable, and happy home. That's what good economics is all about. If you liked the video, remember to like and share on social media. If you have additional questions, you can send them to me at practicalpam@bestbrains.com. We might cover them in a later video. Remember to subscribe to the Best Brains YouTube channel if you haven't already, and check bestbrains.com/interactive-workbook for a free downloadable workbook full of fun activities. I've been Practical Pam, and we'll see you next week. Bye! Bye! Goodbye! Bye!